I'm standing here. You make the move. You make the move. It's your move. I'm trying you.
You make the move. Hello, good people. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great evening. It's Friday night. I got my live stream actually in an hour. Jeez, I forgot about that. Jeez, it's Friday night. And my pupils are dilated right now. And because I just got back from the eye doctor, and hopefully I can get it together because I literally forgot it's Friday night. So we've got some interesting news here. Rashad Bateman. Apparently, the Cowboys were at first trying to trade for Rashad Bateman to the Dallas Cowboys to try and, of course, get that wide receiver number 2. What we're also hearing is that really the negotiations for Pickens really didn't happen but for the last week. And so, you know, we're hearing all kinds of different stories and things. I don't know that we're going to ever find out exactly what happened. But here's the thing that's good. You know, it seems to be that the Cowboys are kind of saying, you know, we're done with trades and this, that, and the other. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll have to wait and see if it is or isn't. What is clear is that the Cowboys have actually put themselves in a really good position right now. And that position is they've gotten the team better. There's no way you can look at this and say where we were last year to where we are now, that this team isn't better. But the great part about this is now, okay, let me back this up. Typically, the Cowboys aren't doing much of anything to this point other than the draft. What they like to do is they like to go through the OTAs and their workouts and everything else and actually get to training camp. And once they get to training camp, start figuring out who we have holes with and where we can fill them in with some veterans that have been out there. You think about, we ended up bringing in Lawson after the Rams game. We ended up trying to get Jordan Phillips after the Rams game. You remember we brought in Anthony Barr while I was at Oxnard in training camp. That's when we go ahead and say, well, we can just get these guys now and throw them on the roster and they'll be ready to play. The Cowboys have gone through and they have filled the roster in and got some more talent with the Dante Fowler and the Pickens and some of the other players to put themselves in a good position to get these guys to start working out. Now, what's going to be happening, of course, teams are beginning to do their off-season optional team activities and their mini camps and things like that. And as we're getting ready to go to training camp end of July, in early August, you will see a lot of named veterans are out there. Teams are going to start saying, okay, we didn't expect to draft this guy, but now we've got this veteran. We can get some cap room. We can get rid of him. Maybe we trade him. Maybe we cut him, and so on. So your Cowboys having right now $31 million plus the money coming from Micah Parsons that'll be able to be thrown with this. All of a sudden, the Cowboys are in a great position to continue to reshape this roster and make it better. I'm excited as can be on this whole thing. You know, the thing about George Pickens is there's perception and then there's reality. And I think the perceptions of what we've seen on TV and how we hear, you know, things like that, the Steelers were calling people and they were literally getting people laughing at their face and hanging up. It doesn't sound like the teammates of George Pickens were ones that were trying to get rid of him. And the fact that this guy has come here and he has actually so far said everything that you want to hear, everything, that he's ready to get to work. He'll do whatever they ask of him. He's looking forward to working with CeeDee Lamb, who's, you know, a longtime friend of his. That Dak Prescott is his guy, and he can't wait to get to work with him. I don't need another contract. I don't know that the Cowboys could have found a better fit here. You know, when you think that Cooper Kupp, coming off of 3 years of injuries, in his 30s, is getting paid $15 million a year. When you think about what the number 2 pick that the Steelers gave up to go ahead and get DK Metcalf, who is a lot older than Pickens. You kind of look at this as kind of like a lateral move, or maybe slightly better, but you had to give up more to get him. This is an incredible move to me, because I'm sitting here thinking we're paying $8.6 million for Michael Gallup, not on the roster, and another $4 million to Brandon Cooks, and we're paying less than that for Pickens. Now, the thing that really kind of baffles me and makes me wonder is the trade for Jonathan Mingo. How the heck does that work? Because here was the thing. We traded for Jonathan Mingo, who was like the third receiver. Excuse me. The third receiver that Carolina got rid of. And it was just kind of like, okay, we'll throw in a 4th-round pick for that guy. I'm sorry. I understand you had a high grade on him coming out of the draft. But when you look at Jonathan Mingo and what you got out of him, and the fact that you were still trying to sell us on, hey, we got Mingo there, and we got all kinds of things we can do with Mingo. And then you try and get Rashad Bateman or Pickens. Those two things don't look completely the same. Unless this is all, we were going to do the bare minimum for Mike McCarthy, but what we're really trying to do is we're trying to prove that we were right about Brian Schottenheimer. I can't tell you what the real answer is to that. All I know is it's kind of crazy that we gave up a 4 for Jonathan Mingo, and we ended up getting Pickens for a 3rd. So we'll see how all this works out. We'll have more on this in about an hour when we do our live stream. I got to get set up for that. And we may have some news on the Micah Parsons contract. Interesting thing that we have is David Magenta is Pickens' agent as well as Micah Parsons. And it would be good for the Cowboys to get that thing done now. And that's probably the biggest thing that you're starting looking at now is we need to get this thing done and start working on some of these others. We are going to have some key players next year that are going to be free agents, and we're going to have to get them locked down at some time. And no better time than to get them locked down now before the price goes up even more. Alrighty, good people, as always, I appreciate you. Peace out.